Howdy, Summers. I'm not the best when it comes to building these sort of abandoned, rundown type builds. I do a lot of cozy and clean houses. I don't really step out of that comfort zone. But with it being the Halloween season, I am in the mood to do something kind of on the creepy side. So I'm building an abandoned haunted house. But truthfully, can you really call it abandoned if it's a haunted house? There is still someone or something living there. They're just not actually living. So I don't know if you would consider that abandoned or not, but something is in this house, and yeah. But I had a lot of fun with this. I did take inspiration from an actual kind of abandoned house picture, and I don't think I'll be able to find it, unfortunately. But I don't know, because I have never built something like this before. I don't do a lot of abandoned looking builds, and so I was like, okay, I need something, some sort of inspiration so I know kind of what I'm working with. Because, firstly, I don't build a lot of old timey looking homes either. But also, I didn't want it to be like completely run down, like abandoned shack thing. I wanted it to be kind of nice anyway. So, we actually, I think, use a lot of stuff from vampires in this build, particularly these windows. I did want to actually use some of the windows that came with werewolves because we have the ones that are like completely stone, just like the edge of them. But it didn't fit the vibe for this house, so it's a nice house. It's just kind of overgrown, a little bit dirty. It's fine. So no one's gonna judge. No one lives in this house. Not technically. But I did build this in Forgotten Hollow. I thought this world was perfect for this build because it is so dark and dreary, and it's the vampires world. Vampires, Halloween, you know how it is. So, with that in mind, yes, the lighting in this world and on this lot is not the best. So, saying it now, we know how the lighting in the game is normally, but this is Forgotten Hollow. It's a lot darker here than it is in any of the other worlds. So, I'm going around right now just putting windows basically everywhere because I have this two-story house I knew I wanted to let in at least a lot of light, given that, it's an old house. I don't know what I'm saying anymore. I built this house last week, and I don't remember much. I just remember it's actually a pretty fancy house for it being old and abandoned. But I did get to test out my kind of wisteria, overgrown plant skills. I don't do this a lot. I don't really like to mess with these things, all these like wall plant decorations, because I'm so bad at using all of them and making it look okay. I don't think I did too bad though. But I'm focusing on the outside first. So we're getting in all of our like landscaping. So many trees. Trees and so many dead plants. But it's fine. I think this actually came out really, really nice for what it is. So I have a little fence area in the back. You'll see what I do with that later. But going on to the inside, I used the same wallpaper everywhere, which I don't usually do, but for some reason I just felt like it would work in this one. So we do go like really kind of fancy with this, and I don't remember how many things from vampires I actually use. But I'm figuring out our layout. I am basically walling off everything because I feel like that's just something that they do in older houses. Like, unless you undergo renovations in this house, most of the time older houses do not have an open concept. Like that was not a thing in kind of the older days as far as I am aware. I've been in some older houses and everything, every room, even the kitchen has been closed off. So, I do use a few other packs in this as well. I can't remember what all I use actually. I probably use way more than I really needed, but like I don't know. For the rundown kind of vibes, I use a lot of vampires, werewolves, and I think I use a couple of basemental treasures stuff as well. So all these like old kind of gross looking things like the coffee table that has like the watermark and it's got some wear and tear. And yeah, I believe I want to say these counters are also from vampires, but they could pass as base game as well. But I never use the green swatch on these cabinets. I never really use these cabinets. But I was like, you know what? We're gonna do this. It's gonna look nice. I got us an island in this house as well. So there we go. But I do try to get around some clutter, and for the most part, well, not for the most part, but you guys might at this point be wondering, like, how is this abandoned? Is it just the outside? I do get to the actual, like, abandoned, kind of dirty details later on. I really just started out by getting everything that I wanted, and then I'll go around later on, get, like, some wall scratches and, you know, spider webs and all that stuff. So, really, it's just about getting our main furnishings, because it's abandoned, and maybe they just kind of left everything behind. I don't know, the family disappeared or something. Come up with whatever lore you'd like. So, I probably could have cut this out. This was just me kind of trying to figure out what to do in this space. I thought that the living situation had a lot of room in here, and I'm not that creative with what to do with my spaces. I was just like, okay, so much clutter. We're just gonna do this. And honestly, I think it came together. I actually used a runner for once. This is a vampires one that you can just put together. It's really nice. And I never use runners, like, ever. Because the ones that we have, I've always thought were so ugly. Like, I want just, like, a plain, kind of simple runner, and we don't really get those. So they always have some kind of weird pattern on them. They're always to the extremes. It's like, I don't want them. So, oh, I did get to use something from one of the newest kits. The Artist Studio kit had this plant that has a few swatches where the plant is wilting. And I was like, okay, this is perfect, because obviously this place is abandoned. Who's taking care of these plants? Sadly, we don't have a lot of plants that actually look like they're dying in the game, so I had to improvise a little bit. With that being said, there are not a lot of plants in this build, so I think in my builds I do tend to put plants a lot more just to kind of make it feel a little bit more homey. But be realistic, plants in an abandoned house would not really be alive if they were inside. Like, they're not getting any water, they're not really getting any sunlight. Like, I just tried to make it as logical as I could, basically, so there aren't a lot of plants in here. But yeah, we are finishing up downstairs really quick. I just wanted to find something to put on this wall. When we get upstairs, we have this big hallway that I don't actually, like, do anything with. I hang a bunch of pictures upstairs, and then that's kind of it for that hallway. I just kind of felt like there wasn't a lot of space up there for stuff. So, yeah. I am using some curtains from the spooky stuff pack, actually. And these just felt right to me for this kind of house, because they look kind of torn a little bit, I guess. They definitely look old and kind of spooky, I think, for curtains. So I use them all throughout the house. And yeah. Let me know if there's anything else I could have done with this space, though, like, genuinely. Because I don't know that I could have really done anything else. Maybe I could have put a chess table somewhere. Maybe? I don't know. But I did do something that I don't usually do, which is I gave them an office. So they have a little desk there. I did debate whether or not I was going to put a computer there. But we have this, like, typewriter kind of looking computer. And I was like, okay, well, that could pass off as something. So they got that. We have a couple of bookshelves in there as well. And yeah. I got a lamp in there too. And it's really nice. Oh, I didn't really know what I wanted this to be about. Like, I didn't know what family I was imagining would have lived here. But because I gave this person, like, a dedicated office, I was like, maybe this person was, like, incredibly smart, got a lot of degrees, some type of, like, businessman or something. I don't know. But anyone who has their own office has to have it pretty good, right? I say as I'm in my own office. But yeah, moving on to, I believe this is the last room in the house, we have the master bedroom. And I kept it pretty simple in here. Bedrooms, honestly, you only need, like, two things. The bed and some kind of dresser, which you don't even actually need the dresser, technically. I like to put it in for realism. That's just me. I did get another fireplace in here. Nice. Okay, I put a couple of fireplaces in here. I don't think I remembered to get chimneys, though. And I think in the back of my mind that was sitting there, and I completely just forgot about it. Oh well, if there's anything I forgot, you guys can always add it to yourselves if you download it. But I will say, I did remember to paint the ceilings this time. I also actually changed out the lighting from the saucer lights, so be proud of me for that. I did the two things that I literally never remember doing. I've gotten better about actually painting the ceilings, but the light changes, I always just... I don't really care about those. We don't have a lot of good lights, really, and it's like, I want you guys to be able to see the house. So, there's that. Oh, I did get a candle in here. What is that from? I feel like that's from the Cozy Bistro kit or something like that. I don't know. Or maybe it's from Lovestruck? I don't know. We got a new candle at some point. Alright, here we go. Moving into the back, this abandoned haunted house comes with its own little cemetery. So, I am sorry that it's kind of all over the place. I was working in a small space with this because we were kind of in the back of the lot. And I was like, you know what, this is just like a little family cemetery. Maybe the family hasn't been in this house for too long, so it's like, it's kind of a newer cemetery, but also not because this house has been abandoned for who knows how long. So, we have a cemetery back there. It's not great. But you can see I'm kind of going around now, getting all of my finishing touches, putting spider webs everywhere, and some of these, like, wall decorations. I think I started out with just doing the spider webs, and then at some point I was like, okay, I'll just add all of the rest of this as I go along, because I was gonna start bottom to top and do, like, each thing individually. But we have cracks that'll go in here, and a couple of scratches. You can see we're already kind of getting into the stuff. And I do think I add something, at least, to every single room. Really trying to emphasize just how grotesque and, like, neglected this house is. So, yeah. These spider webs were giving me so much trouble, by the way. I never really know how to use them. I'm like, okay, where does this go? How do I put this on here? But I'm really happy with it. And I even included some of these cracks on the outside of the house too, just to give it a little extra abandoned effect. So I don't know how well you'll actually be able to see them from the outside, but yeah. So overall, I think this house came out actually pretty nice, even though it is kind of abandoned and run down. It still has, like, the nice element, but yeah. I don't think I do anything else in this, so I'm probably just gonna skip ahead and I'm just gonna show you the build, because I'm pretty sure the rest of this footage is just me going around doing this stuff in terrain, so yay. I'm sure my commentary was all over the place, so I apologize for that. But this is the house. It is a nice sunny day in Forgotten Hollow, and my partner did question me on why there are lights on the outside of the second floor, to which I replied, it's The Sims. It doesn't matter. But we have our very dead landscaping around. It's honestly one of the best landscaping jobs I think I've ever done. But coming to the front here, we have just a little step up. We've got our mailbox and a couple of these candle sconces. Our front door is frosted, so that's fun. Let's go inside. We've got the very yellow lighting. I did not mess with any of the lighting situations, so over here we have our little entrance area with just some, like, knick-knack stuff. Cracked mirror, and it actually kind of looks like, from this angle, it looks like the spider web is actually attached to the top of the mirror, which is really cool. That was not intentional, but I really like that. We have a half bathroom over here. So nothing too special about this area. Over here we have our dining and living situation. This is probably my favorite part of the entire house. So here we go. Really, really nice. Got a few pictures kind of going around. And then over here we have our kitchen, which I did use this stone archway from Werewolves. And so we come in here and we've got Beautiful green cabinetry. Big fan. I don't think I put a thermostat in here, but it's fine. I didn't imagine that a house like this would actually have like temperature controls, so get a better look at the living room here. I also didn't put any TVs in this house, because why would they have a TV in this house? Out here, we have our little cemetery. There is the outdoor trash can over this way, and then this is just for decoration, but we have some log storage over here for our fireplace. And you can see we actually have a little bit more over by the fireplace too. Spiderweb's got into it. All right, let's come upstairs. Up we go. We do have a little kind of seating thing here. I put a rocking chair in here because I was like, you know what's creepy? Rocking chairs. The ones that just seem to move on their own. So there is that. I did put another plant in here. Then through the halls, I just kind of have pictures around everywhere. But we've got the office in here. Kind of nice. Not like the most spacious room. I did forget to put stuff on these shelves, so I apologize for that. But we've got a nice little desk here. And out we go. Through the hallway, we have the master bedroom. We've got our clutter, the fireplace, bed, dresser, all the fun things. I gave him a little oil lamp next to the bed. And then lastly is the master bathroom, which is not anything special, really. So this is the house. And I think overall it came out really, really nice. This is definitely the best abandoned build that I have done or ever will do. I don't actually know if I've done any other abandoned builds, but I'm really happy with how this one came out. The build is called the Unabandoned Abode on my gallery. You can find it under TheSimmingKoalaa with 2 A's at the end. I always have it in the description for you guys if you ever want to download anything from me. It is a 1-bedroom and 2-bathroom house. It is marked as a haunted house residential, and it costs 102,124 simoleons. And yes, I did use a lot of packs in here. A little more than I anticipated, but it's fine. I hope you guys like this build. Let me know if you have any build suggestions in the comments below. I love building. I love trying out new things, even if sometimes they're a little too far out of my comfort zone. I am trying to get better at doing some different types of builds, so if you have anything that you'd like to see me try out, definitely let me know. And yeah, I hope you guys are ready for some more spooky builds and really any spooky videos that I have coming throughout the month of October. I've got a lot planned, and yeah, I'm so excited for Halloween. But with that, I'm gonna go. Thank you so much for watching. If you enjoyed the video, subscribe to the channel and make sure you have notifications on so you don't miss anything. Be sure to follow my socials. Links are below. I'll see y'all soon. Bye.